going to do our lesson that was given in the school packet that I created for this, for the district, and it's called Coil snakes, and it's patterned for kindergarten, first and second. So you have to look for this worksheet that you will find in your packet. In different cultures, snakes are not always thought of as scary symbols. You know, a lot of cultures, like in Africa, they're thought of as healing, and they see them very positive. So a lot of cultures see them in a very different way than we do. For example, our medical symbol for nurses and doctors have 2 snakes on it. And it's really great because they are a symbol of healing. And in other cultures, and all the way back to Greek times, they thought that snakes had a healing property to them. So that's why they are in our medical symbol today. So I thought it would be really great if we made a snake and we found places where we could put our snake and look at the environment where that snake would be. So I'm going to teach you how to do the snake. And why don't you come on over here. The first thing you're going to do is find the center of your paper. And I like to use a black marker. The reason why is because it'll go through to the other side. If you don't have a black marker, try to use a dark crayon, maybe a black crayon. And you want to have a piece of photocopy paper. So I'm going to find the center, and I'm going to put a little dot. And then I'm going to just make the head of the snake kind of round like that. And then I'm just going to keep going around. And I'm going to try to keep the distance equal all the way around my spiral snake. Okay, try to keep it the same thickness and the same distance. So you want to kind of go slow. Do you see how slow I'm going? To draw your snake. And you're going to go all the way to the outside of your paper. And the snake kind of gets a little skinnier as it gets there. So we're going to stop that snake right there, because that, you can see the tail gets thinner. Then you might want to draw your eyes. Okay. On the top, right? Now, if you have a black marker, you need to trace the same thing on the other side. That's why the black marker is great, because when you flip it over, you can make sure that you do it on the other side and you can see it. Okay? So you really don't have to have a black marker. You could use any color marker to do your spiral, but preferably a dark color. That way when you trace it over, it's a little easier for you to see it through the other side. Okay? Try to stay on the line, not like Miss Morris. And trace over the whole thing. When you get it done, then you're going to turn it back over and you're going to think about, how do you want to do the pattern of your snake? So Mrs. Morris did this pattern. Okay, and I colored it in. I also showed these bumpy lines to give the sense of a texture in my snake. You know, they have scales, so you might want to show the scales of your snake. This is the first snake I did. And as you can see, you're going to cut that out so that it's not 2-dimensional anymore. It's 3-dimensional. You know, and then you can put it somewhere in your house and display it. You could display it on your bed. You could display it around your neck and take a picture of yourself. And in the video and in Facebook, I have an artist who made a drawing of a snake and turned it into 3-dimensional, and it looks so real that it looks real. And he put some hay around it, so you actually thought it was real on the ground. So I'm going to show you how to cut this out when you're done. After you're done coloring the whole thing, you need to color both sides. See how I did both sides of my snake? Because when you display it and you cut it out, it's going to spiral. So let me find my scissors. Okay, so when you're done, you're just going to cut this around. You want to be really careful. And remember, before you cut it, you want to color it, because if you cut it before you color it, it'll be really hard to color it without ripping it. So make sure you do the whole thing before you cut it, color both sides of your snake. Then all you do is you just cut on that spiral line that you made. And that is how you make it three-dimensional. Okay, so you could have a rainbow snake, you could have a green snake, you could have a copperhead snake, any way you want your snake. Okay, so once you get the whole thing cut out, try to find a red piece of paper or a pink piece of paper to maybe make a tongue. And I just cut a long rectangle to do that. And I just cut but your snake doesn't have to have its tongue out. But if you want it to have a tongue, and I like to fold the tongue so it makes it three-dimensional as well. And I just glued that underneath my snake's face. Okay? So that's how you make your three-dimensional snake. I hope you enjoy making your snake and thinking about how other cultures see snakes in different ways as a symbol. Have a great day.